everybody, and welcome to another episode of Three Dads on a Console. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about. So we are here to do it for you. And remember that this show is kid-friendly.
True.
So no earmuffs are needed. Now on with the show. I'm one of your hosts, Wobble Plays, alongside the main contestant, Pez.
Oh, I know. I have been in the main contestant role the past couple nights. Well, past couple weeks.
Yeah, and it will continue tonight, big market tease.
It shall continue.
No court, but it is the two of us holding it down. Hope to see him soon. And yeah, what's been new?
Let's see what has been new. Nothing.
Swayman's still not signed.
Jeremy Swayman not signed, not a problem. Everyone freaking out. Clearly, people do not understand NHL restricted free agency rules.
True. That's why I haven't smiled since.
You can smile. It's fine.
I can't. No, not until he signed.
Yeah, nothing. Like the weekend, the weekend was like kind of slow. I ran a D&D group on Sunday. Watch some football.
Oh yeah.
Get
any good bets in?
No. I'm trying to. I biffed it so hard in baseball. I need a break. I need a break.
Football's where it's at.
Football is where it's at, but I am trying to cut down just a tad. But
that's fair. I respect that.
I haven't really been gaming that much. Any gaming I have done, like Friday night's usually gaming with the boys night, and no one was really around, so I just hung out with the family. And Saturday's wife night, so I hung out with her. And Sunday night we just watched some little bit of Sunday night football, but nothing crazy. So kind of a low-key weekend, which is good because we have a lot of events coming up, like the Jimmy Fund appreciation events coming up. I have an all-day fantasy hockey draft at a friend's house coming up, and we're going into spooky season, so we'll be doing haunted houses and all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been up to?
Season. This weekend, soccer started for my daughter, so that was fun. I'm back to it, even though I think for the next few weeks there are yard sales at that time, like big ones. So I'm like, I gotta hit them up because there's one at the a senior center. And then there's one at I cleared that last time I went. I got a new DS XL for like $10. I sold it that day for like, I don't want to say. Oh no, it's tracked for like $250. Sorry, because I don't sell anything in cash ever. So, but this one was online. So, and then a lot of other good stuff. So I'm hoping there. The next one is a church. The next one is a town-wide yard sale I have to hit up. So,
dang.
With vacation coming up, I'm putting in the work.
Yeah, my man's about to cash in that 401k. Get buying.
Well, we're going in 3 weeks. We're going on vacation.
Florida
to the House of Mouse,
the House of M,
and that was all covered by
Nana's yard sale.
Bingo. But I also when I was out and about, so the last stop, someone had a bunch of gaming magazines. So I bought them. It was like I bought some video games. They're not super high value, but I was like, oh, cool. Like Return to Castle Wolfenstein demo disc, which that's like one of my first online games on PC. And they had a bunch of like PlayStation Magazine and all this other stuff. So I spent the week going through them, and it was tough, and it's all super heavy. But I went through, and one of them had a section. Let's talk about it. It was from 2004. It said the NHL issue. So I looked into it. I'm going to ask you now.
Okay.
In 2004.
Yeah.
What 4 NHL games were there? I don't know who's on the cover of them.
There was NHL 04.
There's 4 games.
NHL 04. Which had, I believe, Danny Heatley on the cover. And possibly at one point, once I think Danny Heatley killed his friend, it was Joe Sakic. Anyway, then there was NHL 2K4, which maybe was Vinny LeCavalier, but I don't know. Then I believe there was NHL Hits.
Yes, NHL Hits Pro. And there's one more that I was not aware of.
Was it made by a major studio?
Oh, I wait. Is that who was on the cover? Oh, I can tell you who was on the. Wait, is that cover star?
Is it
TBA.
is it officially NHL licensed?
I think so. It is an NHL game. It has NHL on the title.
Okay.
I'm trying to see.
Let's see. NHL 2K, NHL 04, NHL 2K4, NHL Hits. It was probably like NHL Breakaway.
No, not Breakaway.
Damn. I don't know. What was it?
NHL Rivals, which I was not familiar with. And I guess the year before by 989 Sports was NHL Face Off 2003.
Oh, NHL Face Off, dude. I actually liked the NHL Face Off series. I didn't know it changed to NHL Rivals.
So, I think Iserman was NHL Rivals. Roenick was ESPN, like 2K.
Yeah.
Lidstrom was Hits. And then it says TBA because of what you had brought up with Healy.
Yep.
So this came out and it has a whole grid, which I posted on Twitter, of all the different, each one, like franchise mode, it goes through all of them in a row. I thought it was really interesting. But yeah, it was just kind of a cool little piece of, hockey video game history that I got to unearth and hopefully sell because I don't want that stuff in my home. But that was this weekend.
You know, shout out 989 Sports. Had some actual banger games. Game Day. So I don't know if you were a sports gamer. Game Day 98 with Jerome Bettis on the cover. One of my favorite sports games. Me and my friend always had a blast playing it. They also made the college game day games, which were a lot of fun.
That I heard of.
It was like NCAA Game Breaker or something like that. Those were a lot of fun. Those were a blast. I also believe they made the triple. No, did they do the triple play series?
I played on N64. No, they had triple play with Sammy Sosa on it for PS1.
Yeah, and I remember playing triple play 99, but I don't. Maybe that was a Sony Direct game. I can't remember. Oh, it looks like maybe it was an EA game. Really? I enjoyed an EA baseball game.
Let's go.
Unbelievable.
MVP baseball? Are you kidding me, dude? With Manny on the cover?
Triple play baseball.
MVP baseball is my favorite.
MVP 04? Or was it 05 with Manny on the cover? I think it might have been MVP 05.
Amazing.
Truly the best. But shout out 99 Sports. Made a bunch of games and then stopped.
Bye, Felicia.
Then got yeeted into the sun.
See ya. But yeah, so that's a little bit of a gaming pass, but Pez, I know you just picked up a new game.
Let's talk about.
You to tell the folks.
Let's talk about gaming's present before we get on to gaming's future, or gaming's days of future past.
There's someone out there like trying to make a grid of.
It's just a Pepe Sylvia mapping of Sony PlayStation, Triple Play 99, and Game Breaker, and PS5.
What
Pro.
century are they talking about now?
Where does it all come together? Where is the paradox? Yeah. So first off, I am not a Warhammer guy. I don't understand it. I know a lot of people like it. One of my D&D DMs is a Warhammer guy. He has the cavalcade of minis, a Henry cavalcade, if you will, of minis.
Fantastic.
Did you like that?
That was great. You should get paid by someone.
Thank you,
Henry. That. Not me.
Henry Cavill himself should pay me for that. A Henry cavalcade of minis, if you will. And there's like lore upon lore upon lore, and there's a bunch of games. There's a Dark Tide series. They like just put out some weird like racing series. There's like 4 Warhammer 40k games. There's 40k Warhammer games out there, and I never played the original Space Marines, but I am a sucker for good co-op games. So the boys, if you will. 2 of them purchased Space Marines last week. So last week, the game released on a Monday. Don't understand that release date at all. 9/9.
Standing on business.
Shout out 9/9/99, which I believe was the launch date for the Sega Dreamcast. Shout out Sega Dreamcast. Love that. Truly love that console. Still get upset sometimes at my mom because she sold it at a yard sale for $50. $50 in like 2002. Adjust that for inflation, I could send my kid to college. Now look at me. Just a schmuck.
Who's gonna tell him?
Don't tell me.
I'm not gonna. I won't lie to you. Don't worry.
Thank you. But you know, they said it was a great time. They went through the story mode. They was like, you know what? It's basically like Gears of War almost, but like bloodier and more like hand-to-hand combat. So bought it today, went through the first mission, and just was like, yes, I'm in. Yeah, I listened to, or I watched Digital Foundry on YouTube go through their performance breakdowns. Apparently the PC version is very, very CPU and GPU intensive. So I decided to bypass that because I just didn't want to deal with all the rigmarole of putting my PC's pretty good, but it's also like getting kind of old. So old in like PC terms.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to like have to deal with all the heat settings and all that stuff. So got on PS5, runs great on a base PS5. Are you kidding me? A base PS5 runs great, right? Looks great. Controls are good. They need to add remapping to the controls because every game should have remapping options. The story's like, I don't understand the story because I don't really know Warhammer, but basically I'm fighting all these Terminids, which are basically like, to me, knockoff xenomorphs. And it's like, I'm just using chainsaws and like shredding them. And I have a bolt pistol and I'm blasting them in the face. And I'm like, yes, this is what I want to do. After playing so much college football and Sea of Thieves, I just want to rip and tear something apart. And now I'm able to do that with my friends. What I don't like about it, it's 3-person co-op. Hate that because, you know, we have a big group, so we always like to run the 4-person co-op. But Saber Interactive actually came out and said, yeah, the reason we can't have 4 Marines is because they're too powerful. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool.
At least that's a real answer. They're like, we can do it, but like it wouldn't be fun.
They just said like they're too powerful, which I can see that because you are just like decimating waves of enemies. It is like, it's great. It's just great. Like, it just feels good to do that. So excited to give it a go, especially with some of my friends. And very interested in like the 40K lore. So I know I'm going down some like 3 a.m. YouTube short rabbit hole, right? Where it's just fantastic. Like 40K lore of the Emperor and the imperialism and all this colonialism. And it's like, goodbye everyone. I'm going to go to bed at 10 o'clock. And next thing I know, it's 6 a.m. And I can tell you front and back everything about Warhammer, but.
Well, the God Emperor requires it. So
yeah,
you have to.
Yeah. All hail the Emperor. So yeah, it's fun.
I love 40K. I don't play it, obviously, like tabletop. I played 40K Space Marine when it was free on PS Plus. I played the Warhammer Total War game from I think like Creative Assembly because I love Total War games. I remember like I think like a year or two ago I asked my buddy Wolfman, who I know listens. Wolfman gave me a video so I can send it to you if you want to get into the lore. Here it is. It is so cool. This stuff is awesome. All the different Space Marine chapters have different like codexes and they have different like rules and they have different armor. And like the way that like the war is, like you can see like the regular soldiers and infantry compared to like Space Marines, which are like bred, you know, at birth. Like the whole goal is like you don't get a normal life, you fight. And just like the different like chapters and stuff, like speaking of Henry Cavill, he mentioned he likes what is it, Custodes, which are like the God Emperors. Like it's their unit. And these guys are even like it's just these guys are massive and you don't realize it because everyone else is big. Right. When you see them next to like a person, like they're giant genetics, they've got like, you know, their ribs are now just like plates. Like they're just bone to shield them. They've got like multiple organs, so if one like fails. And then also too, like on the flip side, you have like the heretics, which are like corrupted like Marines. You've got like there's a character called Nurgle, like the tainted, and it's like these like gross festering like things that I don't
Are they
know if
the
are in the game.
Necrons?
Yeah, I think I don't. I
I
think
don't know.
that might
Someone
be
mentioned
different.
it. Someone mentioned it in the Young Beef chat. Shout out Young Beef. Someone was like, "Oh, the Necrons," and I was like, "Put that in your brain."
There's so many, and like there's one clip. I don't know if it's a fan movie or like a cinematic from something. Again, I've watched a lot of hours and I still don't know every like it's only a small bit.
Yeah.
But look up what do they call it? Like Terminatus, and it's a badass clip. Basically, the Terminids consume like matter to make more. So even Terminids that are defeated, they could use the dead Terminid to make more. The only way to cut it off is like how you handle like a fire. You have to basically cut off the source.
Yeah.
And you have to stop them from spreading, and then eventually there's nothing to. You have to like destroy worlds, so there's nothing to consume, so they can't like replicate.
That's crazy.
So
I love it.
The Empire destroys planets with people on it to stop the spread, because destroying a world is more it's so cool. This stuff is wild. So go down the rabbit hole. You'll find the chapter that like speaks to you too, and like you'll be like, oh, like start to get like an affinity for that chapter. And then when you can unlock their stuff, because like you don't have to pay for anything, you just unlock it in game. Like the lore of Warhammer, I think, is very cool. I don't understand it. And my buddy Wolfman paints them. Like he's like he paints his figures, so like he's into it. He's a good resource for it, and I love learning about it, because I don't know how it came about. I don't know if all this stuff is like from the company or like from like fan stuff that's been accepted. It's just there. It's so much, and it's fantastic, and I love it. And if you like D&D, this is like you will vibe with this.
Sign me up. I'm ready to vibe. Ready to vibe. Hey Waba, let's talk about vibing with games. NHL 25 has put out some information. The last week they put out a deep dive, and I'm gonna air quote deep dive, because a deep dive should be longer than 4.5 minutes. I think if you're gonna deep dive,
shallow dive,
if you're gonna deep dive something, give me at least 20 minutes, right? Don't give me 5 minutes. And they did this with college football too, where they're like, hey, we're going to have a presentation deep dive. We're going to have a recruiting deep dive. And it's 4 minutes of some guy being like, look at our boom tech. Isn't it great? Pre-order now, right? So we have a video over at youtube.com/3dads on a console. Wob his thoughts on it, but I would like you to summarize some of them as well. And we found out yesterday via a EA blog that had, and I use the term blog loosely. It was more like a blah, because it wasn't finished. Not even a full blog. It was about 3 paragraphs of this like brand new touted presentation that they talked about
the rivals or
when
something.
Things came out. And then today we saw a video of the quote unquote grudge match matchup screen. So as our resident NHL 25 or resident NHL video game player on twitch.tv/wabaplays, why give me your impressions so far of what you have heard, your likes and your dislikes of NHL 25.
Look at all this promotion. I mean, it's like it's September on Twitch and you can get subs for 25% off. It's wild.
It's crazy that you could go to twitch.tv/wabaplays on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 4:30 and just drop a hot sub. It's crazy. And while you're there, maybe exclamation point charity and donate to the tribute fund.
Yes, I don't know.
I don't know.
Who am I? So as Pez mentioned, there's a video. So if you want to see my like impressions, I go to it. But a few big takeaways. Court and I talked about like the players actually facing the puck, and I've been going back to NHL 24 and playing, and it's very noticeable that that's going to be a big improvement. Like actually facing the puck, so when you pass to someone, it doesn't hit them in like the shins. And like the defense actually, when they're in position, making plays. I did think they called Ice Q, which is my third favorite rapper behind Ice T and Ice Cube.
See, if I was Ice Cube, I would be irritated if there was an Ice Cube, because it's so close to Ice Cube that I would probably have to sue them.
Well, there's a Q-tip.
Make them change their name. Yeah, but
that's what
if it was Ice Q-tip, then they would both have a case, but it's not. No. Ice Q, I would be like, me and you going to court.
Fighting. But yeah, I mean, it seems good. Like, the challenges they say, like, oh, enhanced AI. And the sentence that I thought was very funny is your players aren't just going to go to the back post and crash the net. And as he's saying that, Shifley in the example is literally going to the back post and crashing the net. So much so that he is parked in the crease with his stick between the goalie's legs. Like, if that goes in, that's an interference call. And it's just, I think AI in hockey or sports games in general, I think is inherently very challenging. I don't want to be like, oh, why can't they do? Because it's hard. It's tough. But for them to like say this thing and then have the example do the thing that they said it wouldn't do, I either wonder, like, one, was this thing rushed together? Which, if that's, I'm not actually that miffed about that. Like, okay, fine, whatever. Or two, is that actually not true? And that's what I'd be more concerned about if that were the case. But it looks like there's a lot of good enhancements to the gameplay. I'm curious to know like what the other modes are, especially HUD, obviously, because that's what I do. I know some people hate it. But they did come out with like a grudge match. And it's this presentation that shows all this stuff and all this stuff before the game, and then it has no bearing on the game. And you said it, it's another thing that people are gonna say is cool 5 times and then skip through it to get to the actual game. There's no loading times. You don't need stuff like this. We found this when they said, oh, look, you get like on the ice projections. Everyone just mashes X so they can go and hit each other. Like, this isn't how you make a better game. It's nice, but not if you sacrifice other things for it. They've said they've done a lot of gameplay. I have to take their word for it because I don't have the game in front of me. But like, are there like, can I have like an AI generated like character portrait in franchise?
The dream, dude. The
Yeah,
dream.
like, that would make franchise more immersive than this would make immersive HUD or
MLB
Versus.
The Show has been doing that for years.
Like, EA did it in MVP 2004 baseball with Manny Ramirez on the cover.
Yep.
Nick Dowd had an AI portrait
because
they couldn't get the signing rights for pool hosts.
You're right.
They can do this. They have the technology. 20 years ago, when I was an infant.
I mean, college football does it. All their recruits, no black portrait, just black silhouette portrait. You get a fully fledged AI generated character portrait, and they all, at some point, some of them will look the same, but it's not like Madden where it's the same like 40, like 10 faces every year. You're like, oh, I've drafted the same guy 50 times.
Exactly.
It is, or like NHL where it's like, oh, great, I just drafted. I'm in my 10th year. I just drafted Connor Bedard Jr. and it's just all my lineup is black portraits. It's like, this is stupid.
Like I feel, and I know it's like, oh, how many people actually play franchise? But I will give you like, again, I will give you that. But like this thing they're doing with this grudge match, I don't believe it would create the impact that it has to whatever Versus HUD, whatever, will not be as great as if you did a draft day kind of special thing like Madden.
Yep.
Or like the portraits I mentioned. If you did that, or if you made the arenas look different in HUD, because they don't. They all look the same.
They're the same.
Like, that will create a more immersive experience than whatever this is. I feel like their heart is in the right place. Where their thinking is. But the execution isn't going to have the impact that they think. Imagine doing all this work. You have a job as a coder. You do all this work for something people just hit X through and want to skip.
Right. And even, I think what bothers me is you hear the Madden community talk about like the openers for Madden, like the intros before the game. People are like, we don't want this. We don't want players just looking at each other and then going like to the screen.
Even college football was cool.
We don't. And when I say we, I'm really just saying me. I don't want a.
Speak for me.
Okay. We do not want we don't want a matchup screen of the Hughes brothers with some generic commentary of like, oh, he scored 1 goal last game and Quinn Hughes had 1 goal and he had 2 bone crushing hits and they're going to now play against one another in this EA NHL matchup. It's like, first off, none of this means anything. Second off, what you just showed me, both Quinn and Jack Hughes did not have hockey sticks in their hands. why. They're hockey players, dude. Come on now. But C or 3, because I don't remember if I started with 1 or A. We just want it's if EA NHL is supposed to be a sim hockey game, give us a real broadcast. Give us an opening, give us warm-ups. Hello everyone, welcome to Boston Garden. You know, Pistol 56X here, Wobble plays, and we have an exciting matchup for you tonight. And then show the Bruins warming up and focus on, all right, and in his last 3 games, David Pastrnak had 10 goals. And show me David Pastrnak shooting a puck into an empty net like you would if you went to the game or if you watched it on Nesson or TBS or ESPN or whatever. Do that and people will be happy. Because that imitates real life, and people play these games not to imitate real life, but to have their own outcome in a real life league, right? So I don't care about the matchup. Like, I don't care if it's like Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid and they're just staring at each other at this like matchup screen, because both of them are like have the personality of drywall, right? So it's like, yeah, these two are really going to fight each other. And oh my God, can you believe it? Like, no, just show us in game, show us pregame stuff, show us warm-ups, do like a little stupid cutaway from like what they used to do in NBA 2K, where like they're all standing out for an anthem. You don't have to play the anthem, but like show like the end of it, right? It's dark and you got a flag going across, and then the game starts. Easy. It's easy. What people care about. It's conceptually easy, but EA tries to be so different and people don't want it. People this year, when Madden 25 came out, said, oh, it's the same intro and we don't want that intro. That intro is terrible. It's just 2 people walking up side by side, and then they face each other, and then they face the screen, and then it like zooms out, or it's like like 3 players on the defense doing their thing, and then it zooms out. It's like it's all the same. Stop giving us the same stuff, because it gets repetitive and then you just skip it.
And also too, I heard that if you turn commentary off, which again, we've had James Sobalski on. I think he's great at it. There's some people that just don't want commentary when they play because they, for whatever reason. But if you turn commentary off, it's silent. That whole grudge match thing.
Oh, really? Oh,
so man. You're just watching McDavid look at McDavid because everyone's going to have similar players. I think the execution is not going to be great. And
that's rough.
I've seen this before.
Because as someone who will, after about a week of playing the game, turn the commentary off, because eventually it's just like you hear the same lines that if you're a constant player, you've heard either in previous years or you've heard it already multiple times in a week. And it's like, okay, all right. I've heard, MLB The Show. It's like, I forget what the stupid line was, but it was in this game again. And it was in 24 this year. It was talking about insurance, and then the other guy goes, or as they say in the South, insurance. And I'm like, this is still in this game.
That's
Are you
not
kidding
a good
me?
joke.
This is still in this game. I've heard it since MLB like 21. Why is this still in this game? So immediately it goes off. Goodbye. Give me game presentation. Give me the sound of the field, all that stuff. But yeah, yikes. If that's true, that's rough. I also, and I got rid of my Twitter. Shout out Twitter for being a dumpster fire of horrible
X.com
social media.
But you could follow us at 3 Dads Pod on X.
Shout out 3 Dads Pod on X. I hate, and I feel like I can say this without ruffling any feathers. I hate that EA always has some phrase for their gameplay. Always. NHL 25, Ice Q. Madden 25, Boom Tech. Madden 24, Field Sense. Everything, they always say, everything has a name. And I hate it. It's just stop. Just stop giving it these like stupid markety, like, oh, NHL 25, now with Ice Cube. Just tell me what it does. Stop trying to pound Ice Cube into my head. Don't put it on the box. Nobody cares. No one's buying it for Ice Cube. Tell me the changes. Like when they went over the changes as a Chell defenseman, I was like, hey, this sounds pretty good for defenders. Like I'm into this. And then it's like, okay, well, show me now. Show me if my opponent is coming down on a 2-on-1, 3-on-2. What is my AI defenseman doing? Show me that, because that's a big problem and has been a big problem since about NHL 18. Show me what they're doing. Show me this Ice Cube in action, but they don't. It's like all these like little segmented, and then it's like, oh, well, look at this. We're gonna do the little green boxes, and everyone's like, green passing boxes. It's like, dude, no. Show me unedited in-game action.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
Is the big thing. Yeah, I mean, while I have been giving criticism, still excited. Like that's the thing. It's just I am very critical of this game because I like you enjoy it a lot, and that's I don't know. I'm not giving back. Like the thing is, I hate the people go, "Oh, I don't like this because it's dumb." It's like I feel like this type of feedback is like valuable because it's like, hey, I'm not. It's not dumb. It's just weird, but
right. And it's like, listen, you know, at some point, it's like, look, we all of have been playing this game for decades, right? You started NHL 15. I started NHL PA 93. I've been playing Chell since NHL 10 with the same group since NHL 10. 15 years of or whatever, 20 years, 25 years or whatever of stupid NHL Chell. So it's like when we talk about it, it's not because we just hate it. It's because we play it and we want it to be to a level that we expect.
So speaking of being at a level that you would expect,
yes,
there has been some big recent news coming from Sony this time.
Gaming's future, if you will.
About our favorite console, the PlayStation 5. Can you believe it? There's no way that they would make a decision that would have everybody laughing at them as if they were a lolcow.
As if they were Microsoft.
Right? They wouldn't do that. Microsoft. But wait! They announced a new console the other day on Tuesday, September 10th.
They did.
And they announced the PlayStation 5 Pro. Can you believe it? And they talked about the different specs, and they showed games that are 4 years old, and they showed no new games, but these games that you've already played are going to look great on them if you choose to play them on that. And the price point is $699 US in Canada. That's over $1,100 after tax. But crazy. The nice thing is you can play I can get all my games, my PS4 games, my PS5 games that I can play on it, right? I can just use the games that I have.
I mean, in theory, right?
Yeah, right? Like I could just go to the library and like borrow a game that I want and play it on this sort of thing. Oh wait, no, there's no disc drive. Pez, how do I get a disc drive for this?
You must purchase one.
I purchase. What would the price of a disc drive be?
Now, I am not 100% sure, but I believe it is in the realm of $80.
Yup. It's $80. Now, okay, fine. Well, I'll get my disc drive, but like I had issues with my PlayStation shutting off during stream and giving away free wins because I had it vertical. So maybe I'll have it horizontal so I can just lay it on its side out of the box, right?
No, you may not.
What?
Now, unlike the base PlayStation 5, a PS5, if you will, a stand not included with the PS5 Pro.
So, in exchange for a stand, so you can have it on its side, which I will tell you right now is required. If you had it the other way, my thing was heating up and turning off. I could not play. I was playing NHL. I was playing like Tachia. Like these are like until then, like these are like pixel games. Some of them. If I want to play my disc games, you have to buy an attachment, and you're already in the whole 700, and you could be looking at 800, 900 when this thing is said and done. For a few extra teraflops.
For some flopping.
Pez,
yes.
What are your thoughts on this announcement?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Imagine. Oh my God, what a shill. I would go to the court and change my name to Jeff Keighley right now. Oh my God, Jeff Keighley out here being like, "Oh, wasn't that great? What game are you gonna play first on your PS5 Pro?" Oh, I'm gonna play Red Dead Redemption 2, the PS4 version, because there was never a PS5 version. So that's what I'm gonna play on mine. I think it's horrible. And the reason, number one, I think it's too expensive. I think you could cut down. I think you could cut some corners and bring the price down. What I don't understand, okay, I'm going to get technical and I apologize because I am a stupid PC nerd. But what I don't understand is why you're adding higher end RAM and a higher end SSD, which you do not need. When developers still have to code games for a PS5. Okay. So that's the first part where I'm like, okay, you're going to add this high end RAM, you're going to add this high end SSD, and you're going to put this massive emphasis on IO throughput when you still have to make games for a PS5. So unless they are going to make the game a second time, because like you can use your AI driven upscaling and stuff, which I think is actually pretty good. You can use that stuff, but they'll be coding an original PS5 game or PS5 like speed, and that's already fast enough. So you're adding, like, no one is playing their PS5 and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm waiting 15 seconds for a loading screen. Can you believe this? This is ridiculous. Actually, they probably are, knowing the gaming population. But you do not need all that like high-end hardware stuff. Like, again, your RAM and your SSD, it doesn't need to be this high-end stuff. You're not building this high-end PC. You're not actually even building a high-end console. If it was $700 with the stand and the disk drive, I'd be like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. You're beefing it up a bit. You could still do like a 2 terabyte variant, but you also don't need to do that. Like, you could just have a 1 terabyte variant. The PS5, this beautiful boy right here, already has upgradable memory inside of it.
You can just buy a stick for like what?
I already bought my $100, my $100 really nice like 1 terabyte heatsink SSD, and it's fine. And it runs fine. And my games install very quickly and they run perfectly fine. The memory they're using is too expensive. That's it. It's too expensive. If you cut back alone on the memory in this console, it cuts the price down probably to like maybe $600. Fair. And no one is going to pay $600 for their console and then go, oh my God, I can't believe it's 10 seconds of a loading screen. But all this console is for tech bros that just want their like re-release of The Last of Us Part 2 to look shades better. Like, that's it. At some point, you probably don't have the screen or monitor to do that, to really tell a difference. And B, does it matter? Probably not. Because again, no matter what patches they put through, no matter what they do, and I've played Fallout 4 on my PS5 and I played Fallout 4 on my PC, and it still kind of looks like Fallout 4 from my PS4, right? Like, it's not a drastic change. And the PS5 and PS5 Pro will not have the capabilities like a Skyrim, where you can just throw in all these mods for like HD mods, where everything is just like, oh my God, it looks like a brand new game. That doesn't happen. So it's like, and what this doesn't even get, this is just the technical jargony crap that I like to talk about. Doesn't even talk about the social economic, like the economic aspect of like what's actually happening in the world economy right now and all this stupid inflation. My Sega Dreamcast from O2 right now, worth more than the PS5 Pro. But no, my mom sold it. So Then I got these dorks like Jeff Keighley coming out and being like, wasn't that great? Did you know, adjusted for inflation, the PS2 was actually $600? It's like, shut up, Jeff Keighley.
It's so ignorant.
Shut your
Like,
mouth.
okay, yeah, inflation, but like, what about the? It's oh god, that statistic made me so frustrated.
It's so
because
annoying.
you're ignoring all these other factors that are happening. What about like people are making less?
And then you have, you know, kind of funny's Tim Geddes, the guy that hasn't probably paid for a game in 10 years, be like, oh, do you guys actually put discs in your PlayStations?
Yes.
And it's like, yes, actually, I do.
Yeah. I just borrowed Stellar Blade and I found out it's not a game for me. And did I enjoy it? Yeah, for a few hours, but like had I spent $60, I'd be pissed.
So the Sony ponies, man, out in full force right now. And the kind of like the silly thing is if this was Microsoft, they'd be getting dragged over the coals big time. And you know what's going to happen? Nintendo is going to announce like the Switch 2 or the Super Nintendo Switch or whatever stupid. Yeah, the Switch U, Switch Us, Switch Y, whatever they're going to call it.
Switch your butt.
Switch your butt. Whatever they're going to call it. And people will be like, not powerful, doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, obviously you haven't been paying attention since Nintendo's inception. They do not care about power. They just want their own console to run their games that people enjoy playing. The other part of it is, so you buy this console for $700. It comes with its 2 terabyte thing. It comes with its crappy DualSense controller where the pad breaks all the time. It comes with Astrobot, and that's it. No stand and no disk drive like we talked about earlier. So it's just like, Sony, read the room. And this is what happens when Microsoft poops the bed, because there is no competition. So Sony's like, we'll just do whatever we want. What are they going to do? Go buy an Xbox Series X? I doubt it. If they want to play Sea of Thieves or Grounded, they can just do it on a PS5. They're going to do it anyway. It's like, ugh. So overall, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, glowing review. Put that on the put that whole thing on the back of the box.
That's right.
Might need a bigger box. Maybe you can charge extra $50.
Oh,
but I don't like how they do these things. I feel like I don't mind the Pro system. I don't, because I remember my PS3 launch overheated because bad parts, whatever. I can give them some leeway because new tech. Also, I had the reversible. So what I do, I bought a PS3 Pro. Worked great. PS4 started to kind of crap the bed. Bought another one, and it cost me like $250 or $300 at the time. Like, the fact is $700 is unreal. The used game market is going to be insane. People are going to be able to sell their PS5s for like $500, $600, which is unreal for like 4 years of use. Like, those things should be going for like $300. Unmodded, or ones that people can mod, go for like 5 or 6 online. Like, the used game market is going to go nuts, which means that their sales are going to go down because people are just going to buy them secondhand. Nice. And this like proprietary type nonsense, a disk drive. What? People are going to find out a way to do it themselves. I'm telling you right now. But like, it's like this happens all the time with them. The VR2, they just create a thing that nobody like, and like they don't like. I don't know if they test like do like market testing, but like it fails and then they just say, oh, okay, whatever. The Vita, by the way, amazing. But what'd they do? We're gonna nickel and dime you and make you pay $100 if you want any space so you can play your games.
Yeah, you want a 6 megabyte card? It's $500.
My wife got me a because it came with the one I got was like a 6 gig or whatever. I don't know, megabyte. I don't. She got me like an 8 or a 10, and that was a big deal to me. A great gift.
Yeah,
but like the fact that like I couldn't just buy one.
$160 or something, because I think I bought an 8 gig for my Vita as well back in the day, and it was like stupid expensive.
And like people can't do that, and that was tough then. Now people just won't do that.
No.
You want to know what? Like, if someone's running out of space, you know what you do? Go all the way to that great feature you gave, which last opened. You know, you recently used, and go to the oldest, and you delete the games.
That's it.
I don't need to store them all and hoard them all. Okay. Nope. I don't understand the utility of this, and it's frustrating. And I can see this basically going the way of the Vita, the PSVR 2, the next project they have.
See, I don't, because I think, excuse me, I think there are enough blue boys out there that they'll buy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but let's get some context, right, Pez?
Yeah, let's get
Let's
some
give the folks
context.
some context.
Okay, all right.
And let's do that in the way that's fun. As I mentioned, we have contestant Pez on the show today, and today we are going to be playing another game for you all. So play at home and make sure to give us your answers in the comments at youtube.com/dudeheads on a console. And the game is called Higher or Lower, Bob, based on based on the game High Low that I saw sometimes when I went to Florida on the Game Show Network. So your answers have to be
he means in like 2021 is when he watched
yeah.
it. It was just a 1978 rerun.
This is not a new concept. I just remember in like 360p on this small TV, these like people would be like, "Oh, higher, Bob." It was like high low. I don't know. Just that's how it has to be. So like Jeopardy, you have to form your answers as higher, Bob, or lower, Bob.
You got it.
Or else I won't acknowledge your presence.
Okay.
So
what else?
Let's get started. The PlayStation 5 Pro, the console that nobody asked for, is releasing for $700 US. But what else can you use your money on? Today, Pez will play a game where you can guess if an item is higher or lower than the cost in a game called Higher and Lower, Bob. We need better sound effects.
We do.
All right. First question, higher or lower compared to PS5 Pro? 2 Xbox Series S consoles.
2? I already know this answer. I'm going to say lower, Bob.
That is correct. An Xbox Series S costs $299.99, bringing the total of 2 consoles just under $600. That was a softball.
Softball. Easy.
Higher or lower compared to a PS5 Pro, a flight to Tokyo, Japan from Logan Airport.
Oh, what? A flight to Tokyo, Japan. You know what?
To be specific, the cheapest flight I could find that leaves in October.
Fun story. My daughter and I like to name places and then see how much it costs to go fly there. So we've done London because she thought she could go see Taylor Swift in London. I was like, what? You don't even have a passport, dude. We looked up Dublin. We looked up Tokyo, but this was a long time ago. And it was for like June of 25.
Just for inflation, just like Jeff Keighley.
Oh my God. All right. So let me channel my inner Jeff Keighley. Oh, video games are great. Isn't it so great? Everyone wrap it up. I'm going to say a ticket to Tokyo, Japan in October of 2024, higher than a PS5 Pro.
Good answer. Higher,
Bob.
Higher is correct. A flight to Tokyo costs $1,121 in October from Logan Airport, and the flight time is 1 day and 6 hours. So enjoy that layover for the cheap ticket.
Hope you have a Vita.
Yeah.
Hope you have a memory card. Hey, maybe you can have a newfangled PlayStation Portal that may or may not work when you get on the plane because who knows how remote play works.
That's another one we did talk.
Not me.
Dude, it's like they get to R&D and they just say full send it, whatever. Okay, correct. Next question, higher or lower compared to a PS5 Pro, a new GE 24-inch fingerprint resistant stainless top control built-in tall tub dishwasher.
Ooh. A GE, huh? GE kind of the lowest of the dishwasher brands, some would say.
Yeah, but it's got a lot of brand recognition.
Made right here in Lynn, Massachusetts. I don't know if that's true. But there is a GE plant here.
They make light bulbs.
They make space stations. They send up people from Lynn into space. They get their yes chicken and go up into space. I am gonna say a dishwasher. I'm gonna say lower, Bob.
The new GE 24-inch fingerprint resistant stainless top control built-in tall tub dishwasher, specifically from Home Depot, currently costs $598, regularly $999.99. So
what?
Right now you are correct.
Right now I'm correct. Hit that sale. Use checkout code Pezzy. No, because I'm a shill. Use checkout code Jeff Keeley and get 1% off.
I laugh at this because you just mentioned Lynn, so I don't want to say this is like this is a bad segue. You'll find out.
All right.
It's a bad segue. I'm sorry if you live in Lynn.
Let's go.
I'm not. Higher or lower compared to a PS5 Pro, the state fines for a DUI in Massachusetts.
Oh, it is. I have a couple friends that have DUIs. Shocking to no one. I'm sure. I am not one of them. My driving record, pristine. Court would say otherwise because he was holding the old crap handle the whole time. Higher, Bob.
So from what I saw, the fines in Massachusetts are $600 with a license suspension of 45 to 90 days. So the answer is lower. So you can get a DUI in Massachusetts and still come out with an extra $100.
Get your DUI. Get your DUI. Go buy yourself a PlayStation 3 on Marketplace.
Go buy a bicycle for the next.
You go buy your PS3 on Marketplace because you ain't going anywhere for the next 2 months.
It's wild. All right, the next one. Higher or lower compared to PS5 Pro, a PSA 10 Connor Bedard Young Guns.
Oh, you know what? You dorks talk about this all the time.
Yes, we do.
I am saying that the PSA 10 Connor Bedard Jr. Young Gun that you can get in your 10th year of NHL 25 it's just a black silhouette only, is higher, Robert.
A PSA 10 hovers between $750 and $850 US dollars. Higher is correct.
I do not give two poops about sports cards, but I listen when you guys talk.
That's right.
Because you just do it so much.
You
guys love your sports
when your best
cards.
card comes back as a 10. I mean,
you gotta. You can go watch the replay at twitch.tv/WabaPlays.
Don't watch my games.
Just shut it off after that. Don't watch
that. Just shut up. Don't watch the gameplay. Just assume I win. Higher or lower compared to a PS5 Pro, a 3-tier delicate lace wedding cake from Walmart.
Oh, from Walmart? This is insane. This is an insane pull. 3-tiered lace wedding cake from.
I did not know you could buy a wedding cake at Walmart.
I had no idea. My wedding cake we bought at a place in Danvers, and it was chocolate orange, and it was the best wedding cake I've ever had. And
our wedding cake was a sheet cake in the back.
Well, we also did the sheet cake in the back too, because that's what smart people do.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna have 16 tiers for half the people not even gonna eat it. Are you kidding me? No, bring out the nice little one. My cake topper, by the way, was the groom being pulled away from the TV with by the bride. And on the TV is actually the NHL series.
That's what. Can you get a picture of that somewhere?
Yeah, I'll dig through my wife's. I think it's like in storage because we kept it, but it's somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's all like on my wife's Facebook or something.
Was that your groom's cake or your?
That was the wedding cake. That was the wedding cake topper.
I got a separate cake of groom's cake, and it was in the shape of a companion cube from Portal.
Was it really? Oh my god!
I think I don't know if we kept part of it, like the circle with the heart, but they made me a companion cube, which I thought was really cool.
I love that. I would have guessed chicken tender.
I did have chicken nuggets at my wedding, I think.
To answer your question,
wedding cake from Walmart.
A 3-tiered laced wedding cake from Walmart. I'm gonna say is lower, Bob, than the PS5 Pro.
Yes, and it's a lace wedding cake, not a laced wedding cake. That would be more expensive.
True.
Correct. The cake only costs $160, which is actually surprisingly reasonable.
I wonder what it looks like. I kind of want to order one just to see what it looks like. Like that's like crappy YouTube content that would get us monetized. Like bought this wedding cake from Walmart.
What's up, guys? I bought this Walmart wedding cake, and we're gonna see if we can eat it in 20 minutes.
That's right. What's up, cakers? It's your boy. What's up, my cakers and bakers? It's your boy, Daddy Muffins, and I'm here at Walmart today buying a wedding cake. And then the camera's like, wow,
Then they pan to the guy and he's just like, just put the cake in the back.
yeah, the guy's like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, oh, I'm here for the wedding cake. We're gonna, and then I take it home and I'm like, we're gonna unbox the wedding cake, and the camera's going crazy.
Open it up, man.
Oh, yeah, the thumbnail's just me going like,
we would make so much money on that.
oh, it'd be so stupid. I could never do it. All right, let's do it.
Hey guys, after September, after the Jimmy Fund event, if you want to sponsor this video, just message us. We'll get in touch. Do not do it before September. Please put that towards something actually
Put
good.
that towards the Jimmy Fund, but
Please
in
put that
October,
towards the Jimmy Fund.
October
October will be around. Spooky season. All right, next question. We have 5 left.
Okay.
Compared to a PS5 Pro, the average cost Americans spend on Christmas, an American household on average.
Oh my God, this is such a good question.
And I will believe the weekly income is like $1,100 for this average household, just to kind of ground.
Okay, weekly income. So given both capitalism and commercialism, I'm going over, Bob. Higher.
Americans spend approximately $977.73.
Knew it. All I had to do was think of my wife, and I knew it right away.
Which 70% would be consumed by the purchase of one PS5 Pro before tax.
Which is crazy. I mean,
That's
Billy, you could have all these gifts or one PlayStation 5 Pro, no stand, no disc drive, no games, because we spent it all. We spent it all on your stupid console for your 720p TV in your bedroom.
You can just put this $700 machine on a cardboard box we got from Amazon.
Like, don't break it, because we have to pawn it to pay the mortgage, because we spent all our money on the PlayStation 5 Pro.
This isn't on your kids. This is in general. So like we can't get aunt and uncle any gifts because we got you this machine.
Nope. Sorry. Mom. Sorry, Nana.
Oh, Nana. Yeah, Nana's gonna have a tough holiday season.
Nana in shambles.
Higher or lower compared to a PS5 Pro, the average cost to feed a dog per year?
Ooh, I don't have a dog, so I'm gonna say lower, but probably not by much, Bob. Lower, Bob.
It costs between $20 and $60 per month, which equals $250 to $700 max per year. So it is lower. So you could have a dog for a year, or you could have a PS.
Where is Welkin on the PS5 Pro scale?
If you want to take into account the food he steals and that we give him, he's probably on the higher end.
So it's like we could feed Welkin, or we could play the PS5, the PS4 version of Persona 5 Royale for the 4th time.
Could play Ratchet and Clank, which came out 4 years ago.
Stupid.
Higher or lower compared to a PS5 Pro, the PlayStation VR 2 price at launch?
It was lower. It was like $550, right? It was lower, Bob.
It cost $549.99 at launch. And due to the price, it resulted in poor sales and lack of support. But luckily, Sony learned from these past launches with their pricing and release of the PS5 Pro.
True. I can't wait for the PSVR 3. When everyone's going to buy it and play Horizon Call of the Mountain 2, and that's it.
They're going to play Wordle.
Yeah, they'll play. Oh, guys, you should see it. I can play Wordle. I just use drive every time, but I never get it right.
Last 2 questions.
All right, last 2.
Higher or lower compared to PS5 Pro, the cost to apply for U.S. citizenship?
Ooh, this is a tough one. Being a citizen already, I had to apply naturally, so I'm not sure. However, I'm gonna say it's lower, Bob. I want to say it's somewhere like $500, but I'm not sure.
So the cost of filing for U.S. citizenship costs $760 to file by paper, or $710 if you file online. So it's just above, which is wild. So you can either buy a video game console, or you can become a U.S. citizen. essentially.
I'd probably buy the console, truthfully. They're out here buying consoles. It's all crazy.
Oh, when I saw that, I was like,
consoles.
"There's a." Last question. You've actually done really well this round.
Shocking, I know.
Higher or lower compared to a PS5 Pro? Eating Chili's 3 for Me personal combo every day for 1 month, while leaving a generous 25% tip each day.
Okay, I feel like the 3 for me is. I'm gonna do some math here, and
I know the price.
I know you do, because they made the 3 for you for you.
Yeah,
like that was it. They were like, "Well, but what do you want today?" And you said, "I'll take 3 for me." And some guy in the back was like, light bulb went like blue, and he was like,
and let me specify, there are extras. Like it would become like a 3 for Me, like a more expensive one. This is the base 3 for Me combo.
Okay. Doesn't mean anything to me.
It honestly, it does to some people watching or listening.
Does to me, damn it. It's still real to me, damn it. So what was it? 3 for me every day. 3 for me,
personal combo every day for 1 month, a 30-day month.
Okay.
While leaving a generous 25% tip each day, because the service is always impeccable at Chili's.
Naturally, shout out Chili's. Yes. Okay, I believe the 3 for me is $19.99. However, there is a part in the back of my head. There's a little voice saying it's actually $24.99, but I can't remember because the last time I was in Chili's, my children were not alive. So I do not know. Okay. So I am going to say that, just doing that math, 125%. I'm going to say it's over, Bob. Higher, Bob. To do a $19.99 3 for me every day, plus a generous 25% tip every time.
What if I told you the 3 for Me at Chili's only cost $10.99?
Are you for real?
The value is absurd. I mean, it might, like, again, if you get
I'm blown away by this.
If you get like fajitas, it might be like $17.99. I typically get, like, if you get like the chicken strips, maybe it would be like $16.99, $14.99. But the base is $10.99, and you get an appetizer, which I always get chips and salsa, and you get the meal, and then you get a drink.
What is the value is insane. What is the $9.99 meal selection?
I believe it's definitely a salad. I think there's a quesadilla. I'd have to double check. I think there's a third one, but they also have a burger for an upcharge. The fajitas are now an upcharge. I don't think the fajitas are as good of a deal as they were for the 2 for $25, which is what you had thought. That's where
that's where I went. Dang.
So $10.99 each day for the 3 for Me meal, and a generous 25% tip daily, because you are going in and you're building a rapport. The service is always great at Chili's.
Natch.
After a 30-day month, you would only spend $412.
Unbelievable.
So the value proposition is absurd, and that's once a day.
Absurd. You could maybe go, every, maybe you sprinkle in twice a day every now and then. Still less than a PS5 Pro getting a good meal.
That's right. So Chili's, better value than a PS5 Pro. Confirmed.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you go to your nearest Chili's. At checkout, tell your waiter to use code Jeff Keeley and get 1% off of your meal. And if they don't know what you're talking about, tweet Jeff Keeley at Jeff Keeley on X and say, we didn't get our Chili's 3 for Me deal, and it's your fault.
And next time you go, tell them 3 dads and a console sent you.
No, don't tell them. They'll be like,
tell them 3 dads and a console sent you.
The waitress looks at the bartender. She's like, dial 9 and then 1. And when I tell you, dial 1 again.
Oh, I love Chili's. I'm telling you, the value is unreal.
Unbelievable.
And their Twitter, their X, their admin is spicy. Love it. Very, very trendy. So, yeah, that's higher or lower.
That was great.
Thank you very much for participating.
That was great. I loved it. I was a big fan. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 11.
I think so. Yeah.
Ish.
I didn't count how many I did. I did them until I thought they weren't. So the other ones I was gonna do. Let me see if I can find the ones I ended up passing on. Thank you. I took screenshots. I was gonna do we will have to a ticket to the Carolina Panthers game. Next Carolina Panthers game for football.
Way lower, Bob. You probably get those for $15. The Panthers will probably pay you to show up to go to that game. That's how bad they are.
It's like under $21.
They would get dog walked by a freaking Pop Warner team. They're horrible. Bryce Young looks like a Pop Warner player. They are so bad.
Yeah, some people are selling them for like it's under $20. And then I did like a family of 4 day at Disney World, just parks.
I think higher.
It's about $109 per person, just for tickets. So it's about $400. And then I thought there was one more I had. There's I have to delete all these weird pictures. Nope, that was it.
Just keep uploading to the cloud. See if you get hacked, and then someone is like, "Look at this guy and all his weird Chili's pictures."
I will say that dishwasher.
The dishwasher threw me off big time.
I might have to get it. Well, so I had to find them all myself, but I went to ChatGPT and gave a prompt, and it kept giving me like, "Oh, you could get some gaming headphones." I'm like, "Brother, which product? Like, don't just like
brother." Listen, brother.
Like my prompts were getting like super aggressive. I'm like, tell me the gaming chair you recommended. I need to know a brand and a model. And they're like, well, it's pretty neat. So,
it's what does AI always say? Devout or something like that? Well, it's very devout, very demure.
I mean, so we're very devout to the Empire's God Emperor. So,
yep. Shout out God Emperor.
That's right. Any final thoughts for the folks?
Yes. You should go to our Twitter, x.com/3dadpod. When you do, unless you're doing it during the live show, we will have a link for our Jimmy Fund fundraising drive. Go over there, donate a couple bucks, some Skrilla, if you will. The team's trying to raise money. I am not streaming this year, but I do have a page up just because I want to help the cause, obviously. Waba, Hike Shadow, Endless Days, and Ride or Die will be streaming all of their stuff. So again, head on over to 3 Dads on a Console on X, 3 Dads Pod, and we will have all of our announcements and a way for you to donate if you are so inclined to do so.
We also might get another streamer, Big Country. He reached out to me, and I'm going to see if we can join the team. But also, too, so shout out to the Jimmy Fund. And I've said this before. They're very supportive of our streamers. We're talking about the events they do. Like, I got to live stream their Harpoon event. Pez and I are going to be hanging out with them at a Red Sox game. They, like, try really hard to figure out, like, how can we, like, support our folks. Catherine loaded up my page, because she knows I'm going to be streaming, with prizes. So if you donate certain amounts, you'll get Jimmy Fund gear. Like 25 gets you a sticker, 50 gets you a pin, 50 gets you socks, 100 gets you this hat.
The best beanie I own. It's comfortable.
Brand.
It's a 47 brand, which is great. It's comfortable. It's super warm. It's amazing.
Like, I couldn't believe, she told me, she's like, hey, check your page. Like, these are just there. And then also too, like, again, this is a lot, but if you choose like 350 as a t-shirt, 500 it's a jersey. And I'll be giving away one of these as well. Like, I could not believe it. And another thing, our friends at Outright are going to be supporting us as well. So they've provided us with some games. And when we hit a certain milestone, we're going to release them to the hospital. So when the kids are going through their treatments, they'll be able to play Outright games, to kind of
at the
game stations that they have, and hopefully, make things a little easier. And the games like Bluey, like those are great types of games to pop in and pop out. So,
guys, if you donate $2,000, breaking news, you will be able to go on a date with Court. He doesn't know.
You have to pay for your flight, your accommodations,
your
way there,
your
and your
passport,
way home,
everything,
and you have to pay for dinner.
Yeah, of course, but you get to be around Court. He's gonna listen to this and be like, "I hate you guys
unpaid
so
prize."
He's gonna listen to this and be like, "I hate you guys so much, so much."
All right. So, I'll make sure I'll add that as an incentive. So
I love it.
I mean,
hold on, let me dig out my credit card right now. Anonymous,
I'm gonna win.
Anonymous, where did this come
way!
from?
That's so crazy. God, I mean, who could it be?
You see me flick the credit card across the room. Don't know.
But no, we're currently doing pretty well. I think we're in second place for our team. So, yeah, we've had some very generous family members so far, and if you want to be a part of that, again, literally, like, just if you go in there, drop $5, like, it helps a lot. We're gonna be doing more stuff on that. So, I don't know. It's just it's a great org. I know.
Yeah,
we've
truly
stories before.
Truly.
So thank you for bringing it up. That was the last part of my list.
That's cool.
I don't have final thoughts. I don't know. I have no
Great.
thoughts.
What a way to end the show. Goodbye, everybody.
Sorry. I honestly, I spent all my thinking capacity putting together this
Put the game together. That's fine.
But let us know. Do you enjoy stuff like that? I know we've done it for a few weeks because the gaming news has kind of slowed down a little bit. You are all in for a lot of NHL content probably in 2 weeks or so. So if that's not your thing,
so deal with that.
I don't know. Yeah, deal with it. Like,
put that in your fajitas and eat it.
Put that in your juice box and drink it. But yeah, that's how it's gonna be.
I thought you were gonna tell them to put it in their juice box and suck it.
that's stream recommendation only. Remember,
true.
No earmuffs are needed.
True.
So folks, if you had fun, make sure to check us out. YouTube.com/3dads on a console. You can hang out with us live, usually around 8:30, but we've been starting a little early because we're old.
Because we can.
Yeah, and you can also check us out at 3dadsconsole.com, where we have a bunch of articles coming out. Astrobot review just went out last week. So if you haven't read that, check it out. Exactly. And you can follow us, as Pez said. I've been calling it Twitter every single episode.
Call it whatever you want. Who cares? Don't call it X. X is stupid. X is stupid, just like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is stupid. Ban me.
Follow us at bungus.com/3dadspod. No, you can check us out twitter.com. Does twitter.com / 3dadspod.
It goes to X.
Oh, perfect. Go follow us at twitter.com / 3dadspod.
Yeah.
Perfect. And you can hang out with us there. All right, folks, thank you very much. X going to give it to you, and we will see you in the next episode.